So you guys have been asking and asking and asking for me to do a collection tour. But I can't do a barn tour because I don't have my barn set up right now. But I will at least go through all of my models and show them to you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy my collection. Alright, I'm going to talk about the first few Breyers that I got ever in my entire life. So the first Breyer is Rocky, my little Shetland pony, who I'm sure all of you know from my series if you watch it. And he is a traditional, but he's small. So when I got him, I actually thought he was a classic. And actually he's a mare, but since I was a kid when I got him, I did not know this. So he's now a boy. And I named him Rocky back then, so he's just always been Rocky. He's a vintage model. I'm not actually sure how old this specific one is, but he's pretty old. The second Breyer that I actually got that was a traditional, I can't talk today, this is going to be fun, was Red. Red was actually the first Breyer that I bought in a store. His Breyer name is Tex. I also forgot to say, his Breyer name is actually my first pony, I think. And he's the Breyer Shetland pony mold. His Breyer name is Tex, and he is the stock horse stallion mold. Yeah. And he has been rubbed and loved and taken places, and this is a testament to how sturdy these older Breyers are, because I have played with him a lot. He's gone outside, he's gone galloping over concrete, his hooves are all rubbed up, his ears are rubbed up, but he's still in one piece. So yes, Red has been around. The second one that I bought was Riker. I was kind of a young teenager, I think, when I was first able to really buy Breyers, because they were expensive and I didn't have my own money. So I saved up all year long, and then at Thanksgiving we would go visit some friends. So I had enough money to go to the toy store there and buy a Breyer. Riker was probably the second one I got. And yes, I got him because of his name, because I'm a Star Trek nerd. His Breyer name actually is Commander Riker. He's like the only Breyer that I've kept his actual Breyer name. And Riker is on the Gem Twist mold. Minuet was probably one of the most expensive of the first Breyers that I bought, but she was so shiny I couldn't resist. And when I bought her, she actually had this. That little mark was with her when she was in the box, but the other marks were not. She is one of my oldest models, one of the ones that I've had the longest, so of course she's gonna get bumped and scratched, because I keep them in a herd. I don't keep them in boxes and they bump into each other and stuff. That's just what happens. And then, of course, Rubicon. Oh, and I forgot. She is Madison Avenue on the Rejoice mold. Oh, sorry. Rubicon is Banjo on the Stud Spider mold. I get asked that a lot. But that's who he is. Except I named him Rubicon. And funny story, I actually almost gave him away. I never played with him. I had kind of lost interest in playing with my Breyers, because I thought, oh, you know, They're so expensive and I don't want to break them. So he stayed in the box for forever. And then I started filming and I thought, huh, I have this Breyer who I've never taken out of the box. I should just take him out of the box and see what happens. And then I made Banjo on my knee about this model horse named Banjo, except that I named him Rubicon. And that's how my channel got started. And to be honest, this particular model has survived incredibly well considering he has starred in so many of my episodes. He does not have any significant marks on him. There are no giant black marks on him at all. He has a few tiny little rubs on his ears. But other than that, he is in great shape. That's impressive. That's kind of amazing. So anyways, those were my first models, pretty much. Okay, I'm gonna do this guy because he's a resin and I want to put him back on the shelf before anything happens to him. But this is my Walter resin. He's nothing too fancy, but I like him. He's a work in progress body resin. He's had a few breaks. His name's gonna be Phoenix. I'm trying to repair him, give him a new tail and everything. He is yellow mount on the Adios mold. And I don't know if you can see it, but he's been slightly etched all around his markings. He was one of my first models. One of my earliest ones. I got him right around season 1, right around 2010. And yeah, he's just been a really good model. I really like the Adios mold. I've had several models in this mold. Right now he's my only one. This is Babylon. She's a custom of mine, a fairly old one. I did her in 2011, I believe. Did I write it on there? I didn't. I need to sign her. She's on the Lady Phase mold. And yeah, I resculpted her tail. And I resculpted her mane. Because I believe she was a haired model before I got her. She's typically used as my tack making model. I haven't really put her in the show much. I'm not sure she's ever been in the show. Well, I think she was in the background. So here's Liberty. She's my custom on the Running Mare mold. There's her whole body. This custom I did in 2011, I believe. Except that I started her about a year before then. I did a lot of work on her belly, and her back, and her tail. I actually completely resculpted her tail. And her face. I was trying to make her look a little less Arab-y and a little less pregnant. I'm not sure if I succeeded, but I tried. Because I wanted her to be an Appaloosa. But yeah, she was one of my early customs, obviously. But I repainted her so many times. I think this is actually my 12th repaint of her before it turned into this, which is kind of a neat effect. I like it. So, and she's been in the series quite a bit because she is owned by Sky, who runs the Fern Creek Feed and Tack store. So this is Moondreamer. He is a custom on the Rugged Lark mold. And he's a custom of the first horse that I ever took lessons on. Which was really tricky because I only found like 2 pictures of this horse. So he's really not the best painting job I've ever done. There's no shading on there. But I tried. I was mainly trying to get the shape of the spots right. But he's very cute. He really doesn't look like Rugged Lark all that much because I've resculpted his face. But it's the same mold. Yeah, I resculpted his mane. I gave his neck some more muscling. I did stuff to his ears. But I really like this model. He's very special to me.